Yawa's dream. In a small village on the outskirts of Accra, there lived a young girl named Yawa. At just 12 years old, she was a ray of sunshine in a world that often seemed too dark for her. Yawa had beautiful, dark skin that glistened in the sun, and eyes full of dreams. But behind her warm smile was a story of struggle. Yawa came from a poor family. Her father had passed away when she was younger, and her mother, though loving, couldn't afford the luxuries many others took for granted. With no other choice, Yawa lived with a family who had taken her in after her mother couldn't care for her. But life with this family was far from easy. Her foster family, though seemingly kind at first, often mistreated her. They made her do all the chores, sweeping, cooking, and washing clothes, while their own children played. They rarely gave her enough food, and when they did, it was always the scraps. Despite the harsh treatment, Yawa never allowed her spirit to break. Every morning, she would walk to school with an air of determination, even though the weight of the world seemed to rest on her small shoulders. She would sit in class, listening attentively, always eager to learn. After school, she would quickly collect her books and run to the market with a basket of onions, a small business she started all on her own. Her onions were fresh and smelled sweet in the afternoon sun. She would set up her little stand near the busy street corner, watching as the world passed by. Some days, she made just enough to buy a meal for herself. Other days, she would save her earnings to buy a new pair of shoes or a notebook for school. "Yawa, why do you keep going like this?" her foster mother would ask with a dismissive tone. "You'll never be anything more than a poor girl from the village. Stop dreaming big." There was an elderly woman who would buy onions from Yawa every day, no matter the price, simply because she admired her determination. "You have the heart of a warrior, child," the woman would say with a twinkle in her eye. Each night, Yawa would lie in bed, her stomach sometimes empty but her heart full. She dreamed of a better life, one where she wouldn't have to endure the cruel treatment from the family she lived with. She dreamed of going to school without the weight of her chores pressing down on her. Most of all, Yawa dreamed of becoming someone who could change the world, someone who could help her mother and others like her. One day, after school, Yawa sat near the market, her basket of onions by her side. She watched a group of children from her school, dressed in neat uniforms, playing with a ball. She felt a pang of sadness, wishing she could join them without having to think about selling onions. But as she was about to pack up and leave, a kind man walked up to her stand. "You sell these onions all by yourself, little one?" he asked, kneeling down to her level. "Yes, sir," Yawa replied, her voice steady despite the tiredness in her eyes. "I sell onions to help myself and my family." The man studied her for a moment, then smiled. "You have a bright future ahead of you, Yawa. You remind me of my own daughter. Tell you what, let me help you. I run a small business, and we often need someone to help with deliveries and packaging. Would you like to work for me in the afternoons?" Yawa couldn't believe what she was hearing. The man was offering her a chance, an opportunity to earn more money and, perhaps, even leave her current situation behind. But she was careful not to get too excited too soon. "How can I work for you if I have to go to school?" she asked. The man chuckled. "You'll be able to do both. School is important, and I value your education. We'll work out a schedule." Tears filled Yawa's eyes as she realized that her hard work was finally paying off. She had dreamed of this moment, and now it was becoming a reality. From that day forward, Yawa worked hard, both at school and her new job. She continued selling onions in the afternoons but also helped the man with his business. Slowly but surely, she saved enough money to buy her own things and send money to her mother. She worked tirelessly, never losing sight of her dreams. Years passed, and Yawa's dedication never wavered. She eventually saved enough money to start her own small business, creating a line of beauty products using local ingredients. Her company grew, and so did her reputation. The young girl who once sold onions on a street corner was now a successful entrepreneur, known for her determination, heart, and brilliance. No matter where you come from, your dreams could take you anywhere.